Hey, good Friday morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregro. So we made it through a little snowstorm. Looks like about a 5 to 6 inch snowstorm. I'll have a map for you later on this morning, but around the Detroit, Ann Arbor area. As of 11 o'clock last night, they're reporting 5.5. So I'm guessing they're at 6.5 to maybe 7 inches or so, about as expected. I didn't see any 8 or 9, so good solid 6 to 7 inch snowstorm where it was supposed to be. Now, I got a lot for you because we've got a sneaky weather pattern today and more likely this evening where it can kind of be pretty nasty, but not meet the requirements for a winter storm warning. So I'll show that to you. Look the weekend. Next week, we got a lot of weather. So you got to stick with me here. I'll try to get through the weekend real quick. And then if you want more weather, you're going to get a whole bunch of it. And if you could do me a favor, please hit the share button. And this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrosa with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn, which none of that stuff is showing up. So let's hope it does. So let's get to it. Oh, by the way, a bonus thing. Hang on for later on. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in the South and how the spring break weather is changing. And, should you go to Florida? Where in Florida? Texas, desert Southwest. But let's first get to it and let's take a look at the radar at the moment. And the snowstorm has moved on toward the south and east. And then the next system, that's an Alberta Clipper coming across the western part of the UP right now. So when you look at the advisories and warnings map here, we get Michigan in it for you. We're looking at a wind advisory through the from near Mount Pleasant, Alma, through the Grand Rapids area, down to Lansing and Kalamazoo. That's for wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. We're looking at a winter weather advisory from Big Rapids, north through Ludington, Manistee, Leelanau County, the whole Grand Traverse Bay region, up to the Straits, up to Mackinac Bridge, up across most of the UP. And we're looking at a blizzard warning for a couple of counties there, Luce and Schoolcraft, in the central part of the UP. So, there's quite a bit going on here. So let me get into it here for you. If you have any questions, I can see you clearly today in the question column. So try to get to them. Let's just say good morning to a few people. Lori Rummels, good morning. Going to South Carolina. Hang in there, Lori. I'm going to show you that in just a second and some encouraging news for the Southeast, but something you want to see. It's probably a few minutes away, I'll be honest, because why? I'm a meteorologist and I'm windy. I talk a lot. So, at least that's what the TV consultants, or as we used to call them, the TV insultants, would tell us. They would always tell us, hey, your hair's parted to the left. It should be parted to the right. It would look better. That's your better side. Hey, the lighting should be this. Have you gained 5 pounds? Well, yeah, I have. Everybody's gained 5 pounds. Well, let's get off onto the weather. Okay, so here we go. So the Alberta Clipper coming through. This is 7 o'clock tonight. So in the north, Grand Traverse region, Mackinac Straits, eastern UP, it gets snowy early this evening. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, heading toward Grand Rapids, heading toward Saginaw. 10 o'clock, heading toward Lansing, toward Kalamazoo, into the Thumb. 11 o'clock, heading toward Ann Arbor and Jackson, and the north side of Detroit, Oakland County. By midnight, into Detroit and sweeping across the southeast part of the state overnight. This is 3 in the morning. It's faltering and falling apart as it does so. Then we wake up to tomorrow morning. The lake effect is taken over. West side of the state, kind of a broad lake effect pattern at 7, 8, 9 in the morning. And then it consolidates into your concentrated lake effect in a few bands southwest and up in the north. And it's going to be cold. So you're going to find places where you're going to kind of be surprised at how nasty the road conditions are for tomorrow. The rest of Saturday dries out, and on Sunday we warm up considerably, and I'll show that to you here in just a moment. How much snow out of this Alberta Clipper and trailing Arctic front? UP gets hammered 5 to 10 inches of snow. Northwest lower, including Mackinac area, Sheboygan, Boyne Mountain, Grand Traverse region. Well, let's call it 3 to 6 inches. Good morning, Cody Luck, Mr. Luck. Hopefully I've got that right. Grand Traverse region 3 to 6, but let's lean more toward the 3 and 4 in most places. Get down to Grand Rapids, you're probably looking at 2 or 3 inches around the Grand Rapids area, and then you get east of Grand Rapids, Lansing, Saginaw, Bay City, Thumb, Ann Arbor, Detroit, and you're looking at less than an inch of snowfall. So it depends on where you're at. Now here's the wind, and this is going to be a bugger too. This is this afternoon. This is 3 o'clock this afternoon, 4, 5. Hence the wind advisory in effect. Those are gusts in miles per hour. So you're looking at 40 to 45 mile an hour gusts spreading across the state through the evening hours. This is 6, 7 o'clock. If you're snowing and you got gusts to 40, it's going to be kind of a nasty situation. And that's why I'm saying, I don't know what it's going to be like, but just in my basic meteorology mind, I'm saying an inch or 2 of falling snow and 40 mile an hour winds might make you go, hey, is this snowstorm worse than the snowstorm we had yesterday? And it could be in a lot of places where yesterday really wasn't a snowstorm in a lot of places, like Grand Rapids and Saginaw and the Thumb. So we're into tonight, and I would say avoid driving tonight because you're just going to have too strong of winds with all the weather that we have going on. Hey, good morning, Lori Younglove and Daniel Garl. Thanks for watching. James in the eastern UP, a whole lot of snow, 6 to 10 inches probably over the next 24 hours. Now we get to tomorrow morning. So you say, hey, we better not travel tonight. What about tomorrow morning? 8 in the morning, the winds are coming down. And as we go to noon, winds are coming down. Things are getting better. I wouldn't say perfect, but better. Maybe in the southeast it's okay where we've only had an inch of snow, but on the west side, still probably fairly nasty because of cold, small snowflakes, hard to plow, mashed into the cold pavement, all that good stuff. Then here comes the wind again from a different direction. This is Saturday night, and this is Sunday. Some 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts out of the south, bringing warmer temperatures. But this is Sunday afternoon. And look at this. This might be a little overdone on this model, but we could have some 45 mile an hour gusts. We'll watch Sunday for a very windy warm-up, which will probably cancel the warm-up. A lot of weather going on here, folks. I gotta have a drink of coffee. Yes, I drink coffee now. Not daily, 3 or 4 times a week. It was my New Year's resolution. Everybody, my kids, hey, have a cup of coffee with us. Have a cup of coffee. It's great. Yuck. Up to my age now. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I started drinking coffee in September. And kind of a shout out to Jim and Corey Bismack from the Traverse City area. They got me kind of hooked on it. They put an additive in it. Mine does not have an additive right now. It's just pure black coffee because, of course, I'm working. And that's the honest truth. But occasionally on the weekend, an additive. All right. Let's look into next week. We've got more weather. Here's our Alberta Clipper. Here's our warm-up on Sunday. Here's our next storm. Monday night into Tuesday, we get into a snow, freezing rain thing. And this is Tuesday, and we're into the snow, freezing rain thing. Southern third might be mostly all rain. I-94 southward. Central third, might be icy. Northern third, snowy. And then we go into Friday and Thursday night of next week. And here comes another one. So we are in what I like to call the groove. And that is storm systems starting in the southern plains, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, somewhere, curving northeast. They have the Gulf moisture. They have the cold air. They have the warm air. We're going to be in that zone. It looks like we're going to definitely be in that zone next week with 2 storm systems Tuesday and we'll call it Friday, but you got to keep updated with me on the exact timing of those. So here's the Friday storm, and it moves on toward the east. Temperatures. Hey, we're getting to the spring break thing, folks. So if you know somebody going on spring break, hang with me. A couple more minutes. Tomorrow, today highs near 30 degrees. Tomorrow is a lot colder. Sunday's back into the 40s. So we go up, down. And then on Monday and Tuesday, telltale signs of a storm system pattern. 50 in Ann Arbor and Detroit and Jackson, 30 in Saginaw and Grand Rapids, and only in the teens in Traverse City. Yes, classic pattern for a storm system. All right, so now maybe you're planning a spring break getaway. I would encourage it because it looks like it's going to be fairly stormy going into March. What I would say in summary is southern Florida is starting to warm up, and we'll have a hard time getting really chilly. Northern Florida could still get chilly at times. We'll look at Texas because I know a lot of you go to Texas. Somebody here mentioned South Carolina. We'll look at that, and we'll look at the desert Southwest. So what I would say about Florida is it has warmed up considerably after the last cold spell. So we're looking at 10 days of high temperatures, and where you see the darker red, that's 80s, and where you start to see kind of a brownish, that's nearing 90 degrees. We're out to next week, the end of next week, and here comes a cold front. And this is a real good indicator of what happens in Florida at this time of the year. Tampa, we're out at February 27th there. Tampa can still get the cool down into the 60s to near 70 for a day or two, then it bounces back up. You get to Fort Myers area and southward and north of Miami southward, and you could cool down into the low 70s, but the next day you bounce back up well into the 80s. And somebody mentioned South Carolina. You can still get chilly. You could have 2 or 3 days of chilly weather in South Carolina, 50s and 60s, before it bounces back up to 70s. But you can see ahead when it warms up, it can still get into the 80s for a day or so in South Carolina. Desert Southwest. Hey, good morning, Parrish, Florida. I have no idea where that is. Desert Southwest, you got to go Phoenix or southward. This is a 10-day high temperature forecast, and it's not super warm, but 70s from Phoenix southward. And that's why the southeast is going to be fairly warm, because the southwest isn't. Now, what about Texas? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I just blew that, didn't I? It's Friday. Let's go back. Sorry. Maps. Thank you for warning me there, Linda. Okay. Let's do Florida all over again. Sorry. So 10-day forecast. There's your 80s in Florida taking over by next week. And then we go into Saturday and Sunday. And this is what I wanted to show you. This is what a cold front does at March 1st in Florida. It makes it to Tampa, cools Tampa down for Tampa area for a day or two. It doesn't usually make it to Fort Myers. It can cool Fort Myers down for a day, and then it starts to bounce back up, also over toward the Miami area. And somebody had mentioned South Carolina. So you can see in the warmth ahead of a cold front, you can get nice for a day or two, and then you can cool down. Here's the desert Southwest again. And let's see, Greg Frost checking in from Fort Myers, warm in North Fort Myers. Yeah, you warmed up considerably here recently. Now, this is a 10-day forecast for out in the Southwest. And as you can see, not too warm, but comfortable. Phoenix southward, you got to go to Tucson, Tucson, or somewhere down in there. I know some people even go around the Yuma area, and that would be warm. Texas, warm ahead of storm systems, but remember, these storm systems are forming in Texas and Oklahoma, and then as they move northeast toward us, they pull the cold air down into Texas. There you can see a clear cold front, and it can make it still. We're out to February 27th. It can still make it to the Gulf Coast, and then it can actually, warm back up. So my point being is, say your thing about spring break. Got to have warm weather. got to have warm weather. Fort Myers to, I don't know what would be east of Fort Myers. I guess it would be like Palm Beach or something. Southward, you're pretty good to go. A lot of 80-degree plus days with some cooler days. Tampa northward, you could get a couple of days with highs in the 60s. Maybe you like that. Carolinas, you can get a couple of warm days and a couple of cool days still in the first 2 weeks of March. Texas looks up and down, looks kind of stormy, kind of chilly. Desert Southwest looks comfortable. Go as far south as you can. So we haven't seen the break yet to where the spring weather just really starts to march northward and that whole area is warm. Whew. Wow. Have you ever had a weather update like that? I'm exhausted. Whew. Thanks for sticking with me on the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn on this Friday. You got to share it because you got to admit you don't get it anywhere else, right? So take care. Have yourselves a great weekend. Be careful this evening. Tomorrow morning could be worse than what you hear in the general weather forecast based on the wind gusts and some snow falling. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you on Monday, if not before, if Mother Nature makes me go back to work. Take care.